The Mayo Experience.
That Mayo Experience. That Mayo Experience. That Mayo Experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, presented by DraftKings. NFL Week 10 recap, Week 11 guessing the spreads and all of the other fun stuff that comes along with it. Remember to sub to Mayo Media Network. Smash the like while you're here. Tell your friends about the show, if you have any. If you're watching this on a Sunday night, you probably don't, unfortunately. I do. Tim Andercuss is here in studio. Geoff Feinberg is on the line with, there's a Chargers hat he has put on.
Bolt up.
How you feeling? Game's coming up in an hour.
Yeah, listen, I'm ready to get destroyed, annihilated. So, it's gonna be a tough one.
Well, if you haven't got in on any action for Sunday Night Football, of course, we'll have to figure out who's not going to score the first touchdown coming up in a little bit. Additionally, runthesims.com/Mayo. Get you 10% off the DIY simulator for single game showdown for DraftKings and other sites that may or may not exist is something you should probably invest in. Let's talk Bills.
Okay.
Minnesota for real or Bills blow game?
Interesting.
What's the headline?
The headline is Bills blow the game.
Yeah.
Because they fumble the ball.
You can't fumble. He's a beefy quarterback who's good at just piling forward. That's a blown game. They fumbled for a touchdown on their 1 yard line. That's a blown game. Although the Vikings right before that didn't score. Wow, what a game. Jeez. Already forgot about how crazy it was. I say Bills blown game. It's still a Bills blown game because even in overtime, they got to the red zone with such ease. They still had a minute and a half in timeouts. And Allen he tried to go for the kill shot twice instead of them just getting their 6 yards of play, which were coming for free, it seemed.
Yeah,
I just want to talk about Minnesota for a second.
Okay.
So they had the 4th and 17, whatever it is. Jefferson makes the catch of the year.
Unbelievable catch.
I mean, the Pickens catch on Sunday Night Football was pretty awesome.
Sure.
But this is a big moment. Pulls it down, one hand, and from then on, that game was insane.
Oh, it was wild. I mean, the third down, Cook's got a wide open touchdown, bobbles an open touchdown.
That was on 4th down.
No, third down.
No.
On 4th down, Cousins doesn't get in.
No, on 4th, that was on 4th down. There was a penalty.
There was a
They got to
penalty.
redo the down.
So Cook screws up. Then Cousins can't get in. Then all the Bills have to do is advance the ball a yard or two and they'll win the game. A fumble on the goal line. Vikings get the touchdown. Then the referees, for the first time ever, I've seen this, don't take a look at a very close pass on the sidelines. It's consequential because it throws Buffalo into field goal range. They immediately jump up, run a play. They get the tie. You see afterwards that really it probably was not a catch from the replay. And then, Vikings get the ball. They run it right down Buffalo's throat, like the Jets did last week, but they can't score. Cousins is tripping over his offensive lineman. They get the field goal. Then, Buffalo is driving the ball and just decide to start throwing it into the end zone for no particular reason. I didn't think they used their timeouts well. I think they didn't think they managed the clock well in that spot. Are the Vikings for real? Well, I mean, the Vikings did some things.
Okay, so the Vikings are 8-1 now?
8-1.
They're 8-1.
It's about if they're... Sorry.
They're 8-1.
And they just won in Buffalo.
And they just won in Buffalo, beating you can say Philadelphia, but just if you were doing power rankings, everyone still basically had the Bills as the number one team. They go in there, knock them out, and still no one thinks they're any good.
Well, I have to say that there are obviously some good.
If we were to power rank the top 5 teams, at best they'd be number 5.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Which there's something off. Maybe they're 4.
Maybe 4. Maybe Dallas slips
you
down
wouldn't
a bit.
put them ahead of Buffalo.
No, I wouldn't. And
Christian
I wouldn't.
Watson just scored another.
But I
fucking
wouldn't
touchdown.
put
Oh my god!
How much time is left?
2 minutes, 2.5.
Okay.
Just
Okay,
I've lost so much money today. It's fucking unreal.
I said to Pat, is the craziest regular season game we're going to see all year because it was well played. It was also crazy and unbelievable stuff you've never seen before happen, but it was also a well played ball game. I don't.
Some of you can appreciate this. I got the full experience for that game, and what I mean by that is when that game was in the late 4th quarter, it was pretty much only that game on and the Indy game had started. So I had to run an errand. I heard that end of regulation and overtime on Bills radio, which I get here in Toronto.
Oh no.
What an experience that was. It was almost like a joy, although Chris it was just so even more entertaining. I'm telling you. And for those that get it. Although, it would have been nice to see it on TV and not have to run said errand. I've kind of been saying with the Vikings all year, as someone who's got those futures at 40-1, no, they haven't been impressive. Pat, you hit the nail on the head, or I think it was Pizzola last week. No team that's 6-1 or 7-1 is laying 3 points against Washington. Like, that shows nobody respected them. But I would kind of always point to maybe they're not as good as their record, but it's still a team to me that has a brand new coach. That's obvious. And a lot of really high ceiling pieces that I wouldn't be shocked if they get even better as the season goes on, despite maybe that not being reflective in their record.
Weren't you waiting for Cousins to throw a back-breaking interception? I was. At every turn. I was waiting for him to do something absolutely moronic.
Well, I know the game was going late, but it wasn't in prime time as of yet.
I guess not. I mean, I was watching that game at the same time I was watching the end of the Texans game, praying for Jeffrey's cover as the Texans kept scrapping to the finish. They tried for you. They did try.
They tried to come. Well, they kicked that field goal, and then they did not.
Kicking field goals.
I also lost my super lock today because the Browns got trounced. Tua.
The Dolphins are really, really, really offensively talented. There's no two ways up. Tua has made such massive strides this season. I wish it weren't so. They're off next week. Then they have the Texans. Then they have the 49ers. Now that will be a challenge, but they're 7-3.
Offensive strides.
They're going to be 8-3.
The guy's probably third or fourth on the tout for MVP. Like, it's beyond strides. It's beyond strides.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Right now, I'd put him ahead of Allen.
I gotta say, is Tua, if you had a vote today, and maybe it won't end up this way, is Tua ahead of Allen? Because I think that Hurts is probably the MVP.
Right now, I'd cast it. Yeah, Hurts, Mahomes, although that's super close. And you could convince me on Mahomes.
Sure.
Hurts, Mahomes, and then there's a bit of a gap. Then there's Allen and Tua, and I think Hill deserves to be in there. He's just as valuable to his team as Tua.
If that's the case, then Tua can't be up there. You can't have Tua and Hill up there. It's one or the other.
They're both playing so tremendous.
Hill is no chance. And I have friends with 200-1 futures that within 4 days went from 200-1 to 50, and they're so excited. Except their 200-1 to 50-1 drop, the book's not even giving them their money back on a cash out.
I believe it. I guess he's going to win.
It is a popularity contest to a certain extent. They're not going to deviate from quarterback for the first time in since LaDainian or something.
No,
for a guy who broke his child's arm, despite how amazing a season he is having. And that trade is just so incredible, how well that worked for both sides. But he can't win MVP. I'm sorry. No, he can't. He can't.
But
can't.
The thing is, and what reason why Tua's got a real shot here is because the Bills losing again. The Dolphins and the Jets are giving no quarter to Buffalo. The Dolphins have every opportunity, given their schedule, to be the number 1 seed because of their schedule and their wins. And so if they're the number 1 seed and they're playing great football, unless Philly's undefeated and Hurts plays, Tua's got a real chance at it at this point.
Tim, what's the opposite of bye-bye?
Hello, Joe.
Maybe it's the Jerry. Hello.
La la la. Honestly, they're like Jack Torrance coming through the wall with an axe.
I thought the Miami win today was especially impressive because I bet against them to not cover, and it wasn't even close. But their defense looked good for the first time in ages. And it's not like Cleveland's offense has been bad.
And the Dolphins secondary still hurt, and they still managed.
If they got pressure today,
they did. I have nothing as much as I'd love to say bad things about the Dolphins. I have nothing bad to say.
And they were able to.
You can't say anything bad. Also, what a deranged. Listen, amazing. I got a lot of friends. The local Chabad house is going nuts. Going nuts. They all got their pennants from 87 that their bubby brought them back. But some of these people are deranged. And not the fans that we know. These people who have these hit lists on receipts. Every person who
that sounds like Tim Andercust. I'm not going to lie to you.
No, but every person who took a shot on Tua that was probably clearly fair at certain points in the first year and a half, everyone, and now that Tim has done it, every single person has acknowledged they were wrong. Now we've gotten to the full circle. Tim just did it right now. So people are going to be wrong, and then they're admitting, people are going to have a take, and then they're going to admit when they're wrong. And I feel like everybody who is hard on Tua, myself included, although I feel true watchers of this show know that I've kind of been a defender of his in the last year.
I would say that the most pro Tua person on the show has been Pat Mayo.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff's been a little bit more pro Tua than me, but the very idea that Tua might be better than Herbert caused you to say terrible things on Twitter. So I don't know.
I still don't think. Well, you like take a poll, like 2 out of every.
Okay, but you know what, Jeff? It is closer
10?
it's closer than it was, bud.
Sure.
It's closer than it was even 3 weeks ago. I'm still with you. I
It's
still
all
think Herbert's better,
closer.
but it's a heck of a lot closer than you and I have been talking about in our DMs for the last 2 years. It just is.
I don't think we've had a DM about Tua in a year.
I am to the point now where I'm glad Miami's on bye, so I don't have to think about them. I have all my negative energies I need to channel towards the Patriots. So I don't need to think about the Dolphins right now.
I would like to make one point like clear here, as it's a very popular talking point, so I'll have to defend it in one sense. When Tua was playing not healthy and playing without his weapons and playing without his O-line, he looked like a quarterback who you wouldn't even want to have a job.
I know where this
When
is going.
Herbert is in that spot, he's playing like the 9th, the 8th best quarterback in the league. So, like, right? Like, no,
I agree. I agree. If you put
Anyway,
Tyreek Hill
I don't
and
and
Waddle on the
nothing,
Chargers, like they probably
nothing
wouldn't have a
anyone
loss.
should say, like, nothing could be taken away for how much fun the Dolphins are, how fun the coach
That's
is.
what's so
how
frustrating.
great Tua
That's
has
what's so
been.
frustrating. They are fun. They're a fun team to watch. It makes my guts tear into knots.
Well, I
but they
think their
are
fans
fun.
are terrified of you. And, you know, I suck on our Back to the Futures thing, and you got that Dolphins one. But when you made that pick last week, I said, I'm making it, and I'm also going to put the Jets on it as well. So last week I played the Dolphins at 5 and the Jets at 12 or 14-1 to win the division. So I was clapping along as things got really weird today in Buffalo.
Yeah. Now the Bills have the Browns and the Lions and the Patriots the next 3 weeks. If they go 2-1 in that stretch, they're still in good shape. But the Jets and the Dolphins are going to chase them down to the finish. It's going to be so very interesting. But yeah, it's frustrating.
Packers are going to win this game, by the way.
What's the score?
28-28. Dallas had to punt back to them. There's a
how's your dad?
minute 20 left.
Oh, my! I should say, thinking of my dad's a little upset about the CFL game. I want to congratulate Jeff. His hometown Toronto Argonauts are in the Grey Cup. I know you're very excited about that. I don't know if you're going to Regina.
Former employee.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to Regina for the game. You may be. You like to travel the world and see all kinds of stuff, so maybe you're going there to rep the,
you know how hard
the
it
double
is
blue at the Grey Cup. But
do you know how hard it? Yeah, me and Hustler are gonna throw down Toronto versus the Peg. Do you know how hard it probably is to get a hotel room in Regina this week?
Well, there's probably, like 4 of them? So, yeah, I imagine
That's
so.
what I
and
mean.
if the Blue Bombers win, everybody in Winnipeg is going to go
I think
to.
they won.
Okay, so they're going to go to the game. So yeah,
Why have you hijacked my show for this fucking nonsense?
it was just
Him did that, not me.
Fair enough.
guilty is charged. Dad is very excited about the Dolphins, beyond excited about but the thing is, he's also really excited about the Jets for me.
But you can't be excited for him?
Not one bit. No, I can't. I'm sorry. No, not one bit. They lost the rest of their games. That would be too good for them.
Okay, I want to go to Twitter for a moment. This tweet comes to us from @PaulShag. It says, I'm not the guy to get emotional and start calling for coaches to be fired, but it might be wise to fire McDermott. We're giving up too many leads, making questionable calls, and losing too many close games the last couple years. This team is too talented to crumble like this. Paul, was that from a place of anger and emotion, or are you sticking by this?
We're 2-9 in the last 2 years in 1-score games.
Wow.
This year, the 3 losses, 2 of them were leads against the Jets and the Vikings at half, and then the game against Miami, we were tied. I feel like there's like coaching adjustments not getting made. We're losing games down the stretch, making some weird play calls. I'm just not convinced that he's anything more than league average. I think the team does well because there's a whole bunch of talent on it. But I don't really see, like, I've never really walked away from a game and be like, you know what? McDermott won us that game tonight.
But I think it should be put on
You
the
can't
table.
do it this year. Obviously, they're in the hunt and everything like that.
Like,
But
is
if they don't make the Super Bowl this year. It's like, I think you can part ways.
Well, based on the success that I saw,
Got to get a better coach.
No, yeah, well, exactly. Based on the success that I saw today, fire McDermott, hire Richie Incognito to be your coach, and all will be solved. Undefeated, Geoff.
Paul.
Who would it
here's
be?
The thing. The Bills are losing games. The Bills are losing games to teams like to inferior opponents, and now it seems like it's happening at a higher clip.
And let's put it on the table. Josh
normal.
Allen played poorly today. He played poorly against the Jets. He played poorly again today. He made some great plays, but he also made some catastrophic ones.
Oh, the Packers are going to punt on 4th and 1 from midfield. Okay.
Anyway,
so now Dallas has a chance to win.
I think
here, but
Paul's
not cover
point
the
about
spread. Great.
Paul's point about McDermott is well taken. I don't know
Who are you going to go get?
any.
All you can do is get offensive linemen that used to be on your team.
Honest-
That's it. That's the only coaching hires you can
Can
make.
you
at this
imagine
We let
if
the good one get away.
you imagine if Sean Payton
Daboll
wanted to
was
come to
the
Buffalo?
answer.
Sean Payton will never want to come to Buffalo.
Are you kidding me? He could win a Super Bowl like that.
Sean Payton's not leaving his studio gig to go and fucking freeze his balls off. I'm sorry.
With the right amount of money?
Yeah. Here, Sean Payton. We're the owners of the Buffalo Bills. Here's a check for $200 million. Are you fucking kidding me?
You also have to trade for Sean Payton because he's still under contract.
What is it worth if it gets you a Super Bowl though? It's worth everything.
You watching?
my
You
God.
watching the game on your phone, Geoff? What are you doing here?
Yeah, I am tracking the Packer game here.
Yeah, there's 9 seconds left. It's time.
Looking at
Going to overtime?
It's going to go to overtime.
Okay.
Like, I mean, it would be great if somehow Dak could stay below 250 yards passing and somehow Dallas still covered the spread. Then I get back to even. for the
Kickoff
week.
return touchdown to win in overtime.
Oh, that would be so fantastic. Come on, Turpin. Turpin, he almost fucked it up here. He didn't know, like, the whistle was blown or if it was a touchback. He started skipping down the goal line. It was really strange. Oh, Tony Pollard gets to the bonus. Anyway, I did want to go back to Twitter for a second because Malibu's Most Wanted, Michael Ruvalo, Geoff, had this to say. All I ever hear is how amazing Josh Allen is, which I believe he is, but he leads the league in interceptions. If Herbert did this, you would call him a bust. Do you agree?
I'm here for the Josh Allen is a bust talk. I'm here for it. I don't believe
No,
it, but I'm here for it.
it all centers around. Whatever. No, that's not even fair. Josh Allen's amazing. Yeah.
Talk to me when
Herbert doesn't
Herbert.
even throw
Talk to
real
me. Talk to me.
interceptions.
Yeah, talk to me when Herbert makes the playoffs once.
He tried.
Yeah, not even. That's why I'm not even answering the question. Like I don't even know how to answer it. I only would say Herbert's interceptions aren't even real interceptions. They're all batted up by his receivers, like 92% of them.
Sounds like he leads the leagues in excuses.
I mean, it's hard to believe Cousins threw what
No,
I
he's
thought was
not
the worst
making
pick of the
any
day.
excuses.
no, he has you to do that for him. You are a member of the team, as we found out.
Yes, as we found out, you're a member of the team crew.
I wish, but I'm not. I wish.
Who do you think's going to get you tonight on the Niners? Is it going to be Debo? Because Debo seems like he's a real problem for.
No,
for the
Nick
Chargers.
Bosa is gonna commit war crimes against a third string right tackle.
Oh no, is Storm Norton playing?
No, this is really.
They got
weird.
Storm and Norman Schwarzkopf to play instead of him.
Resurrected
They
from
actually-
the grave.
No, Tim, it's actually so weird. Well, Storm Norton dresses normally on game days and comes in a backup scenario. Now that Pipkins, I believe, is out tonight, although inactives should be out there, they actually brought a guy up from the practice squad to start ahead of Storm Norton.
You should be thrilled. You spent how long on the podcast Tuesday telling us that if Storm Norton played, it was going to be like a crime against nature.
If Storm Norton was playing, then the Herbert family should pull an Archie Manning against.
So then you should be
Norton was
happy
Nick
that
Bosa.
they brought me up from the practice squad to play right tackle.
You did play tackle football, so that really would fit in.
Absolutely.
McCaffrey's
My
gonna have
only
a game
hope.
too.
Oh, I'll tell you, I got a
No?
little hope.
I think the Chargers are going to win tonight.
You think
Shot-
the Chargers are
That's
going
a
to win
hot take.
tonight?
They're going to get crushed next week against the Chiefs, and this is what's going to be. The Chargers are going to play really well tonight. They're going to win the game. People are going to be super high on the Chargers going against the Chiefs next week, and Kansas City is going to have a field day. That's how I envision things going. Because the
Maybe.
Niners also do stupid things.
I don't like your visions, even the good ones.
They do stupid things. I think
the
the Niners
49ers, for a team that I think is going to kick my ass tonight and that I do believe is a Super Bowl contender, not many Super Bowl contenders, I think we would say, have lost to the Bears, the Falcons, and the Broncos.
This is what I'm getting at. Like, I'm just saying, I would not be shocked if your guys pull the upset tonight. I wouldn't be shocked at all.
Go ahead, Geoff.
The only reason I've hope, you know what gave me hope that the Chargers might win tonight?
Syphilis.
No, that is probably more realistic than my reason, is that I hit winning bets on Tony Finau and Tommy Fleetwood today, and that's the most on-brand thing in the world for me, and that makes me believe, like, maybe it's just a day for the brand for me, and bolt up.
All right.
That's the only thing. That's the only positive I could think as to how we can win, is things are kind of working in my orbit today.
I think Herbert rises to the occasion in this game. Like I said, next week, the hype's
And
gonna
my
be on the
Argonauts are going to the Grey Cup.
The double blue. Watch out for them. Watch out for the boatmen.
I went to the gym this morning that's why I so much enjoy the international series of games. They're on. I can go to the gym before like the real games start and watch those as I'm working out or on the treadmill doing whatever. And for whatever reason, when I got there, they had the bank of TVs, but the game itself was on both NFL Network and one of the TSN stations in Canada. But there's like 5 TSN stations.
Yes.
And it was only on one of them, and they had it on the wrong TSN station, and they refused to change it. And Jeff, it was just some documentary about the history of the rivalry between the Toronto Argonauts and the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and it really got me low. I was like hyped up going in. Didn't take any pre-workout. I was feeling good, real energetic. I saw that. Really killed my mood. Killed the workout.
Yeah, I've actually seen some of that.
You probably fucking
I
produced
guess they
it. You
try hard with
bankrolled
some original content, but weak sauce.
Did you see? You didn't see any of the Munich game, did you, Jeff?
I was listening on the radio and things were kind of
I watched-
interesting.
Can you let him fucking finish?
Well, he said he didn't watch it.
But my buddy,
He's talking. You don't
my-
just do what I'm doing to him right now. You let him finish, and then you can make your point. How about that?
My buddy was watching and complaining about it the whole time. So I kind of got a play-by-play, but I didn't see anything. But I obviously watched the Brady, the pass, this crazy thing.
You mean how Brady tackled a defender as Tim described how he would try to tackle Derrick Henry? By flopping on the ground and hopefully he runs over your dead corpse?
Play dead.
It's effective.
So
That's how you...
you watched it. I mean, I watched it on my phone in delay. That's never fun.
I watched the whole thing
when you
start
have
to finish.
do. Tampa Bay, you buried them, called them dead. The Rams are actually dead.
Yeah,
now.
yeah, the
now
Rams
that
are
Cooper
dead.
Kupp is hurt, they're fucked.
Yeah, the Rams are deader. I still didn't come away from that game impressed by Tampa Bay at all. I was just impressed by the circumstances. Like I said to you, Munich is 1,000 times better for football than London was. The crowd was in it. It was loud. They need to work on the turf a bit, much like when they first going to London.
How do we forget about that?
Soccer
this week?
turf.
I brought it up for both the London games. I just felt like it probably wouldn't be a thing in Germany. Turns out it's worse in Germany.
Oh, it was pure soccer turf, and people were losing their footing all over the place. But such a great atmosphere, so much better for football internationally than London. Munich was great. I'm delighted to hear they're going to do more games in Germany. That's fantastic.
When do we get in the Euro division?
We could.
Yeah, we don't need 2 New York teams. Let's put the Jets over in, I don't know, Barcelona.
Barcelona?
You know what the problem is, Pat? I don't think SEC football players are going to want to go there.
You can pay them enough money, they will.
They don't want to go to
That's-
London or Paris or Munich? I bet
no,
they do.
they don't. You do. They don't.
Okay, I would.
Like, Toronto's an amazing city. I think it's acknowledged as like a great world-class city. And the struggle that the Blue Jays and at times the Raptors would have just attracting players, I feel like it would be times a bazillion. Like, they talk about Toronto like it's Siberia. And these are leagues with teams in, guys have to play in Milwaukee.
Buffalo. Well, not really. The Bills don't actually play in Buffalo. All this other the New York team, they don't even play in the city they're named after. So I don't know why they throw stones at us. They don't.
Sorry, Milwaukee.
Because
That
they're in
just
New
came
York.
to my head. I'm
don't
not.
play in-
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
mean
you're
to-
throwing Milwaukee under the bus. Sorry,
Yeah,
Jeff.
really. Wow.
Yeah, didn't realize you hated Milwaukee so much.
They're able to
I
keep
think
their
that's
teams.
become less and less of a thing. And you always have to deal with the tax situation in these international countries. Obviously, Canadian taxes much higher than American taxes. Wait till you go to the EU.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sure, that's true.
So you'd have to work out some sort of provision within the league that you can't pay this guy this much, this guy this much, and this guy takes home a third of what that
No,
guy is.
that's not fair.
So,
But Munich was, all but one of the NFL Europe teams going out, they were all in Germany. Like, Germany is just a better market for pro football.
it was the best. I mean, the first Mexico City game was pretty fired up. And then they had laser pointers.
They certainly did in
the
that
field.
Texans-Raiders game.
Was that the Hopkins one?
Yes.
When his foot was like on the line, but it wasn't on the
Yeah,
line.
it was great. It helped me in fantasy. It was
did.
great.
I remember.
It saved me in fantasy.
I believe you beat me that
I
week
did
in
because
fantasy.
Hopkins got screwed with by that laser pointer like George.
My kids. I do that with my kids now. We initially got it for a cat, then we never got a cat because we had kids. We just do it with the kids now. They were like, following it all around the fucking walls. Who's not going to score the first touchdown tonight?
Ayuk.
Well, Mike Williams
Bob
is out,
Euchre?
so-
No, Ayuk. Is
Oh.
not gonna score.
Ayukin.
So who would you start in fantasy, Ayuk or McLaurin? Because now that Tim says Ayuk isn't scoring, do I need to make that switch?
I think that's pretty close. You got McCaffrey back, Debo is back, Zurich is back.
I look at your rankings every week. You have them
shouldn't.
like they're always within like 1 or 2 spots of each other every week.
Like that's such a coin flip play.
I would play F1.
There you go.
Who?
McLaurin.
Oh, sorry.
I will still contend that is the single
It's
worst.
awful.
It's
It's
the
so
single
awful that
worst, especially now that people know about F1. Is McLaren still a team in F1?
I believe so.
So they know that it's not pronounced McLaurin, right?
Yes. I don't
Or
care.
are they idiots?
It's such an awful nickname that I've just embraced it. It's so terrible I have to embrace it.
yeah, but people like use that.
No, that's you know what? That's even better.
No, that's not better.
So it's almost ironic.
no,
what we're
you
doing.
using it in a sense of irony is not helping out the situation when you have Score and McLaurin right there.
I think McLaurin. And I think Washington's going to give a good fight tomorrow night too. That spread's way too big.
Yeah, McLaren is a team. McLaurin
What's
is
going on in the ball game?
What's that? That's in overtime.
Okay, but like, what's
I'll
happening?
let you know when something fucking happens, okay?
Okay, I'm just
How
wondering.
about that?
Okay, I'm just wondering.
No, I'm going to keep you in the dark.
Sorry, I asked a
about
very
what's
simple
going on.
question. What's going on?
I would
And
have
like,
brought something up if something actually significant happened
I
in the game.
apologize for
all.
all my shortcomings.
Jesus fucking Christ. So you're not sold on Tampa?
No, I'm not sold on Tampa.
Don't we acknowledge? And I kind of want to give Seattle a free pass because they've had such a great season and they're going on bye week and they're on a road trip, like an international trip before a bye. They're probably just ready for some time off, well earned.
And fought back in a game when they were down. Like they didn't give
But
up.
Tampa's
Like
still there. Like today was the best team they've played all year, and they lost. Now I'm not here to say Seattle it's possible. Like any notion that Seattle can regress to what myself or others thought about them in August or September, that's ridiculous. But I think there's still a come down there to a certain extent.
okay, sure.
They could have won today. Maybe they should have won today.
They had every opportunity to win today. They played like Tampa's not that good. Even if Tampa wins the division, like they're a one and done sort of thing.
If they win.
Well, Atlanta's still there, right? Atlanta still has every opportunity to play them close. So I'm not done with that yet.
What are they? 2 games up now?
A game and a half, I think.
I think they're 2.5 up.
Atlanta's what 4-6, and Tampa's
6.
5-5.
Are they 5-5?
Yeah.
Really?
So and they still have another game against each other. So I'm not counting the Falcons out quite yet.
Okay. So they're dead.
No, I'm just saying. And
So
even if they-
Carolina has a much better chance.
I mean, losing that game on Thursday
it's pretty
was
bad.
like pretty telling of the path forward.
I'm just looking forward to a Giants Buccaneers first round playoff game. It's all colluding towards that.
Do you think that Brady gets the best
Why
of
do
the
you like
Giants?
that?
Because I hate both of those teams, and I have no earthly idea who I could back in that. Who would want to see win in that game?
All right. Jeff Saturday?
Whatever, man. Like the Raiders are so awful.
Is he the biggest disgrace to sports, as
Oh.
Bill Cowher said?
Bill Cowher doesn't know what he's talking about. I mean, he does know what he's talking about sometimes, but like he went over the top for a reaction. He called it a travesty. It's not a travesty. It's an unusual, strange coaching decision that probably hurt a lot of feelings of some of the people in the building. But it's not a travesty. It's his team. He can do what he wants with it. I think it's probably not going to work. It was like a sugar high for 1 week. But like they play Philadelphia next week at home. Like that'll be a test. If they actually hang with Philadelphia at home next week or even beat them, well, then a lot of people are going to have to start tenting their fingers and say, maybe this has an opportunity. I don't know. But, you know, it's interesting. The Colts they really can't catch Tennessee. It's really hard to imagine them doing it. And the AFC is so strong that it's hard to imagine them getting to a wild card. So, like, I guess they'll finish strong and go like 7-8-1 or something. Like, I don't know what their game plan is.
What's hilarious about the Bills and Vikings game is there was only 2 games left on at the time before we switched over when Raiders and Colts started, so we put that on the back burner. but on both like we had the TV on below it with Russell Wilson, Mr. Unlimited, and his game-winning driving. That game was so bad.
So bad. Like I said, Tennessee, good teams like the Chiefs, bad teams like the Broncos, they bring you down to their level. They bring you into a rock fight. And they're 6-3. Like Tennessee is a team that is built for the playoffs.
But they're not, because they're not any good. There's just one problem. Not any good.
But they're able to bring you down to their level. Like if Tannehill doesn't turn the ball over and they can run effectively, and he couldn't even run today, and they still won the game.
They're not constructed to beat Mahomes.
They had Mahomes beat dead to rights last Sunday night.
3 straight weeks. They're not constructed for that.
Zach Wilson.
Oh, really?
Honestly, that's looking more
Lamar.
And more.
I omitted.
I feel very strongly, because this is the way my life works. The team I picked to win the Super Bowl is going to host my team in the first round of the playoffs. Jets-Titans is a very likely first-round playoff matchup.
Why don't you worry about New England next week, pal?
Oh, all of my energies will be focused on the Patriots for a while.
Well, it seems like all your energies right now are focused on cursing Tua and the
funeral?
Miami Dolphins.
Is it a funeral revenge game next week?
It is the hingiest of hinge games. It couldn't be any more of a. If I was a human hinge, I couldn't think it's more of a hinge game than that game.
So, do we not like the media tomorrow has to treat the Raiders almost equal to how we treated Denver for the first 5 weeks? Do we not?
Get out of here. If they're even mentioned, it's you are a disgrace. Why is McDaniels not fired yet? Et cetera, et cetera. Oh yeah, that's a trash fire of epic proportions. I didn't see that coming. I didn't. I admit it. I'm a fool. I thought they'd hang. They are just garbage.
I thought the Broncos would be good. They're not.
Oh, the Broncos are also they're
very
terrible.
bad.
Broncos are terrible in a different way.
I feel like they had one success. They had the ball all the time in this game.
One play was that busted coverage down the left sideline to that receiver we'd never heard of.
Yeah, Ted DiBiase's manager, Virgil.
Yeah, never heard of this
Former
guy.
$1 million champion Virgil, just taking off.
The Titans can't cover someone they don't know exists.
That's true. Maybe they thought he was a ghost, or he was like a Make-A-Wish Foundation guy on the field. They were like, oh, well, we don't need to cover him.
Denver's terrible. I believe the Raiders and Broncos play again next week.
The internet's reporting an angry Mark Davis just walked into the Raiders locker room.
Was he going to fire the guy he just gave $150 million over 3 years, whatever that contract was?
Are they paying Gruden still?
I think that I don't know whether he was fired. They considered that for cause or not. I can't remember how that shook out.
CeeDee Lamb just had a drive. I don't know if it was like a drop, but it's 4th and 4. Oh, and they're going for it here.
Whereabouts in the field?
Yeah, would you kick the 53-yarder?
No.
Maybe you go for 4th and 3, right?
They'll probably at least try to draw them offside, I would guess, because that works all the time. So, Dak looks like he wants to run a play here. Or no. Are they going to run it? Oh, they did run the play. Here we go. I'm sure people in the chat are ahead of us. Oh, Dak's going to sacked? So, turnover on downs.
Whereabouts on the field?
Like it.
Like the Packers 39, it looks like.
And that 41? Was the first possession of OT?
Yep.
Okay.
Great. Dak also got over his overpassing number, too, because of fucking overtime.
Great.
Cowboys are killing me. I can't even pay anyone this month. Everyone at Mayo Media Network is fired. I can't afford to pay anyone after this week of betting. So bad.
I'm saved. You can't get rid of me.
Oh, God. Any other games we want to talk about before we get to next week's games?
What was left that we didn't touch? Yet again, the Chiefs turn in a very uninspired performance and win comfortably.
Yeah,
but
wasn't even
another
sweat.
lazy, lackadaisical, ho-hum sort of game.
Fields.
Fields. No one plays better in a loss than Justin Fields.
Only 3 times in NFL history has a player had multiple passing touchdowns, a rushing touchdown, and 60 or more yards rushing. He's done it 3 times in a row.
I don't know what to make of him.
Say, do you guys remember a couple years ago when the Chargers, it was that Herbert's rookie year, and we had a lot of fun on the show with me saying the fact that they may have found like a really good quarterback after the teams that won the Super Bowl, played in the Super Bowl, played in the conference final. I find it hard to say that there are 5 teams that would consider the season a bigger success. I'm tempted to say I want to have the same conversation about the Bears if Justin Fields is in fact going to be a top 10 quarterback next year. Then their season is as successful as anybody's who doesn't go to the conference final.
Yeah, but Geoff, you were excited because Herbert was throwing the ball fantastically and had all the attributes that you want to see in a quarterback. Like Fields is an electric player, but the worst part of his game is the throwing part. We saw it on display again today. Like, I don't think the Bears
Very
can
good
be,
points.
are in any. The Bears are not quite in that position that you are. If they want Fields to succeed, they have to renovate that offense in the offseason again to make it look a lot more like Baltimore's than what they've got, even though they're trying. I don't know. They're in a very weird spot. I don't know what to make of it. It's exciting, but I don't know. And I love him, but I don't know.
He's in a very similar position to where Josh Allen was as a rookie.
Allen was a better passer, though.
What's that?
Allen was a better passer.
Not really. I think
Allen could cut wind. Allen cut air.
But so does Fields does too, though, man. The guy has a giant arm. It's just he doesn't exactly know where it's going.
His mechanics, he needs somebody in there.
Bad mechanics and no touch is a real problem for him at the moment. But everyone, you sat here, and not here, you were actually on the phone, I think, and just laughed about the idea of Josh Allen improving his accuracy and all of this. Well, how could he ever do it? That sounds impossible. And then all of a sudden he comes back, and each and every year he gets more accurate. And now he's even hitting the guys on the other team.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice.
Well, he had a coach in Brian Dable who was able to mentor and shape his ability
but
to
why
play.
do
the
we
Bears
not think
need
that
someone
can
like
happen
that.
to Justin Fields?
The Bears need someone like that desperately. Get someone in the building who
Packers are in the red zone.
Oh, great.
Of course, Packers are going to win this stupid game.
They are going to win this game. All they need to do is kick a field goal and win. Of course. They're back. Are the Packers back?
Just as long as they're back for that Eagles game when they're undefeated. I really need that for that.
No,
portfolio.
the Colts beat Philly next week.
Don't you dare.
Jeff Saturday.
Don't you dare. I need that game for my lungs.
That would be insane.
Because I was mocked so vociferously by Jeffrey when I made that pick.
I've already my flag is waved, Tim.
I mocked you because I once again broke it down that if you had just taken the money you were to bet on the game, you would have won like
but that's not an
four
option
times as much.
But that's not an option in our
yeah, but
game.
why would you take like the
Because
minus?
Because I still think it was going to hit.
Then you should have actually put your real money on it and done it. If
still
you
think it was
really
gonna
thought
hit.
it was going to hit, that you would take like a 4x minus EV wager, then you probably should have put a lot of money on it.
I have tweets ready and lined up for the credit, all kinds of stuff. Like I really am looking forward to that.
Rogers is really engaged.
Hold on, you've drafted the tweets?
Oh my god, that
yeah.
worked. That as someone who has drafted
Hold on a second.
as someone who's drafted a tweet before for an outcome.
Because I have a good
wanted-
idea and I just keep it saved.
Has anyone out there ever drafted a tweet and it's went well that you really got to send? Paul, have you ever got to send one of your drafted tweets? Has that ever happened?
They never work.
Never works out.
I'm like,
So
"Ooh,
you're
this'll be a
bold.
really
You're
funny
just
joke
like
if
wanting to
this
be
bet cashes."
proactive
Always
and be
lose.
like, the tweet already exists. Hey guys, give me credit. I called this, as opposed to just waiting until they're up like 10 points in the fourth quarter.
Yes.
That is so weird.
Okay. Well, fine. Like it gets me excited. I think about it. Oh, that's a good tweet. Let's
Can you
save that.
just can you like
Did
go
the
into your
meme team
phone
make
right
something
now
for
and
you?
just pick up one like random draft and read it to read it to us?
Absolutely
Yeah,
not.
can you tell me how many tweets you have saved in your drafts right now? And I will randomly pick a number between one and as many as you have, and you can read that one to us. That's a fun
Yeah,
exercise.
please.
I only
Come
have
on,
two.
that's
I
fun.
only have two right now.
Okay, give me number two.
Number 2 is about next week.
Give me number two.
It's-
Tell me what it is.
It's something to the effect of...
Open your phone and read me
No, I
what
haven't
the
got my
tweet
phone on.
says.
It's something to the effect of, nice to see Belichick's funeral was 2 weeks delayed. Take flight.
With your pitcher,
I haven't got my picture up, but it's just take flight. Nice to see the funeral was just 2 weeks delayed.
Green Bay wins.
Great.
So I know you like to play this game. Bills, the Vikings and the Packers are A block, right? Tomorrow?
Oh, that Bills Vikings game is 100% the first thing that comes up.
Well, I don't know if it is now that the Packers have upset the Dallas Cowboys in America's game of the week.
I think that would be second, personally.
Other than the fact I saw commercials for this game for 2 weeks. Like Fox didn't even want to advertise their games last week during the World Series.
You're right.
They were advertising this game. Leads me to think it's possible, to Pat's point, this could be the lead.
Wow.
But you're probably right. It is probably the Bills.
Because of the ridiculousness of that game. Drives it first. Packers, Cowboys second.
Have the drugs worn off? Is Aaron Rodgers back?
Well, that would be the question. Are they back, or what's wrong with Dallas? Is Cooper Rush ready for next week?
Jesus. So those two are the A block stories.
Have to be.
I gotta think that Tampa is 3. And Brady in Munich. They can show all the cool highlights of Munich. He lost all of his money on the weekend or over the past week.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably got to be 3.
Have sports?
Jeff Saturday.
Oh, yeah, and Jeff Saturday. He's the other one.
I was going to say
that he has to be
Jets
there,
on
too.
bye. We still got to talk about the Jets, right?
No, we don't.
Giants win again.
No.
And
Jeff's
then
right.
Tua
Jeff
being
Saturday is-
amazing.
Yeah, Tua. Well, there's a lot of competition here for story number 4.
I think Saturday has to be it.
I don't think Saturday will be top block.
No, they don't want to
talk
give
about it.
Saturday credit.
He works
because
for
they spent
ESPN.
all week
No,
back.
he doesn't. He works for the Colts.
Well, he worked. I'm sure he's on a leave of absence.
He
so.
won one game. They don't want to give him credit yet because like they kind
I
of
don't
went
know.
around the whole hiring.
Yeah,
system
Rex
to
Ryan's
do
going to
it.
be in there being like, listen, he was on TV, didn't have fake teeth. Those teeth are fucking ridiculous.
They are frightening.
They're like Nani's teeth on the challenge.
I don't watch the challenge, so I can't accept that analogy. I don't understand it, but they're terrifying.
Or someone that, Jeff, that you and I used to work with, and they got new teeth when they got a better job.
Oh, okay. There it is.
I mean, shout out. Okay, if you have bad teeth and you get it done, it's just his are so outrageous. No one's teeth are that
Are
white.
they like Lenny?
I white industrial whiten my teeth, and I could never get them that
Are they
way.
nicer than when Lenny had that diamond in his tooth?
Maybe. It's like when like Ross did it on Friends.
Okay.
Like, you put him under like a
Chargers
UV
are-
light. Chargers what?
They're up to 8-point underdogs now.
I thought
Oh,
you
yeah.
meant-
All the steam has to come in on the 49ers now.
course
Everybody
it does.
lost all their money on the Cowboys.
Well, additionally, like me.
Everyone said, well, I just lost on Dallas. The Chargers can't win this game. Give me San Francisco.
Yeah, but you just said that the Chargers are going to win. So now
Right.
I think that actually is what moved the lines. This is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. So that only makes a lot of sense. Hey, if you're here watching, I got something to tell you right now. Smash the fucking like, okay? Thanks. Sub to the channel while you're here. And if you listen to the, or you at least sub to the podcast at least. Download, even if you don't listen. Leave a rating and review while you're up there as well. We have a brand new sponsor coming on at the end of the month. I just told Tim what it
excited.
was. He's excited for it.
I'm excited about it, to be perfectly frank.
Voodoo dolls. Customizable.
I don't need any more of those.
They just exist in your mind movies, don't they?
Yeah.
So,
New England's such a good team. They're just a really good team, top to bottom.
okay, Jeff, did you see the Matt Ryan run by chance in that game?
Yes, that was something.
It was great. Just
I saw
like-
people complaining, like guys on the internet. That I've been betting Ellinger anytime TDs for 2 weeks, and then this.
Yeah, Ryan goes over the top, fourth and goal, whatever, for a touchdown, then scrambles for 40. What a disastrous game that is from the Raiders. What a shameful performance. I'd love to see McDaniels fired again because it'd be great, particularly if the Colts were the one that ended his coaching. But
Then he'd go back to New England. They'd have an offense again.
They seem to be fine with their defensive
They
coordinator.
do not have a very good offense
Oh,
whatsoever.
no, that's a very good offense. I treat it with a lot of respect. That's a very good team.
What do you think they are ranked, DVOA?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe middle of the pack, 17th, 16th,
Past 4 weeks. Let's look up New England's. I'll do this in real time. You give me a
I
guess
don't
on
wanna-
what you think it is.
16th.
16th?
Yeah.
I'm going to guess it's like 30th, but that's me.
No,
Offense.
they're really good. I really respect them.
Why just respect them to respect them so you can curse them?
No.
Why
I
are you
think-
trying to use your curse powers if it doesn't exist?
I don't have any curse powers.
We all know that you have
I
curse
really,
powers.
really, really think that Patriots team is a
What
tough
are you
matchup.
watching now, Jeff, that you're sweating? You got like South
I'm
African
just
golf
looking
on
at
the go?
Chargers things. I'm just like trying to get myself that maybe we could do something.
You
I'm
are
just-
going to do something.
Well, the game hasn't even started yet.
He maybe he's in a
Yeah, I
posting
know.
war on
So
Chargers Reddit.
I don't want to like control anything, but if we could do the next week's spread, I gotta get out of here in 10 minutes so I can have 10 minutes to like kiss my kids and get some fresh air.
You mean
before
watch Rumble videos?
before I get like literally annihilated. I saw Christian McCaffrey's 3-1 to score the first touchdown. Like, is that the shortest number in any game this year?
Imagine betting
Probably.
that.
Well, it has to be because Brandon Ayuk isn't scoring the first touchdown. So you just take him off the board. That's tough. New England's offense, 31st.
Well, it's funny. Then it doesn't look that way to me. There's a lot of talent there.
Jeff, have you looked at the lines yet for next week?
No.
Okay, so let's do this right now. Paul, you should be the MC of this. We'll try to roll through these. Jeff, you are the guest, so you get to pick first on each of these. If he is right and anyone is right in their selection, Paul, we stop it right there. Jeff versus me versus Cust. Cust won week 1 of us doing this. I won week 2. Let's go.
All of these lines are getting brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook.
Play on DraftKings Sportsbook. And maybe even try their iCasino. I don't know.
I just thought before I even looked at the lines, considering Tim has that draft, should we just be blindly betting the Patriots next week?
Maybe.
All right.
Maybe I like the Jets. Got to figure out what the spread is.
All right. So Thursday Night Football, we've got the Les Titans at the Back on Track Packers.
I appreciate you using the verbiage of Les Titans. Give me the Packers -2.
Packers by 2.5.
I'll say Packers by 3.
You guys were very close, but Packers by 1.5.
Oh, wow.
That hasn't adjusted yet.
I mean, it's in real time.
I know,
would
but
think
They
that
just
goes to
beat the
3.
Cowboys.
when we pick on Tuesday night, it will probably be a full 3.
All right, so Geoff gets that one.
All right. Cleveland Browns at my Buffalo Bills.
Bills minus 8.
Say Bills by 6.5.
Bills by 9.
Might not want to put your hand.
Because
over
we're
it.
all around it, but it was Bills by 8.5.
Oh, I get it. I'm
Yeah.
off by half point.
There you go. So Tim gets
Jeff had 8 as well. Is
Oh,
that
we
a
split it then, I guess.
How's
Yeah,
that
we
one?
split
All right,
it.
so
Sorry.
no one gets a point.
All right.
Nullified.
We got the Detroit Lions at the New York Giants.
Giants just keep on playing the most garbage teams week after
Giants
week after week.
by a field goal.
I'll say Giants by 4.
Well, the Giants were favored by.
Congratulations, Pat.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you
You
very
are
much.
the
I would have
winner.
gone higher.
We don't need your.
Nope.
we
You don't need your explanation
response.
about why you're wrong.
Ooh, this one's a fun one. Jets at Patriots.
Patriots minus 2.5.
Patriots by 4.
I'm gonna say
Boom. Tim nailed it. He's already looked at that.
No,
You already
I know
looked.
how
Don't
the
make
Cheater!
yourself.
Cheating!
He's been looking at that
I
one
knew
for a
we would get no
while.
respect, and we lost to them last time. We knew
What
we'd
do
get
their
respect.
odds go up to when you watch Patriots All Access all week?
If you don't think I already have it preset on my DVR for Friday, you're very mistaken.
I
I'm
think
ready
that's
for it.
See,
disrespectful
all-
to the Jets coming off a bye. Not
So
gonna lie.
the Patriots are
Tim.
coming off a bye too.
That's fair. That's fair. They're both coming off.
You
a bye, but
getting
it's
triggered over in-house Patriots web content?
It drives
It's not
me
web
nuts.
content, it's
Not-
TV content.
It's on
Yeah, but it's the
CBS.
same thing. It's like the in-house Patriots channel. I said on Twitter to you, that's like being mad on the guy at Flex Seal infomercials telling you can plug the hole in your roof.
I don't care. It just makes me so angry.
I just got a DM that said, when did Cuss start with the McLaren nickname? Because both their drivers were DNF today.
Okay, but that is not something I either started or began with.
Okay.
You know that.
Next one.
We got the Commanders at the Texans.
Commanders minus 3.5.
I'll say Commanders minus 2.5.
Commanders by 3.
Pat nailed it. 2.5.
Oh, good for you.
2-1-1.
Rams at Saints.
Oh, God. That's probably Stafford. We don't know. Cup might be out like the rest of the season.
No reason to rush him back.
So was it Rams at who?
Saints.
Rams at
Oh,
Saints.
my God. This is a fucking pathetic game.
Tough
Okay.
one.
Go ahead,
Saints
Jeffrey.
minus 1.
I'll say Saints.
Boom. Jeff nailed it.
Okay.
Maybe he's on the other side of that computer. He
He just has the
odds
lines
up
in front of him.
there. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Come on.
Jeff. I kid.
I'm on Twitter. It's Twitter.
People are DMing him the answers in real time as we go through.
Yeah, even though YouTube's on like a 15-second delay.
Doesn't matter. That's why he's buying time here at the beginning.
It's true. That's true. Good point. We got the Eagles at Jeff Saturday's Colts.
We.
Oh my God.
They're 11 this week versus the Commanders, and that's at home. 9. Eagles minus 9.
Nailed it again.
Really? Really?
Like, that's pretty impressive, Jeff.
Jeff is the boy. He's the one setting the odds at
This
DraftKings
guy is
Sportsbook.
Goodness
insane.
gracious me.
Let's keep it rolling.
All right, we got the Panthers at the Ravens.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Wow. 9 again?
Panthers at Ravens. Ravens by 12.
I was going to say Ravens by 10.
Ravens 12.5. So Pat is by far the closest there.
3-1.
All right, we got the Bears at Falcons. That should be a lot of points.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Bears. People still like the Bears. They lost fun today.
I think I got this.
I think I have it too.
Okay. We're going to be way off.
Bears minus 2?
I would have said Falcons by 2.5.
I'm going to say Falcons by 3.
Falcons by 3.5.
Oh, I was so. Wow. I was.
I get it.
I get it.
I get it.
No, I
I
get it.
mean,
No, I understand
Oh, you
the line.
understand.
Fields is going to rush for like another
Yeah.
100 yards.
But they can't stop anyone. They don't win any of these games.
No, they don't win any of these games.
No. They're not a good team, but he's gonna continue to be a fantasy sports winner.
Sure.
All right, we got we're into the 4 p.m. games now. We've got the Raiders at the Broncos.
Ah.
Wow. Broncos -3.
Broncos 1.5.
Right.
Broncos by 2.
Broncos 2.5.
That's me
You guys split it.
again.
So
My goodness.
Bengals at Steelers.
Okay.
I say I think the Steelers win this game.
I think it's definitely, well, again, they played earlier. in
Bengals
the year.
-3.
See, I think that's too short. I think it's Bengals by 4.5.
Boom.
Oh,
Tim.
on the
Nailed
ball.
one, Tim.
There we go.
Don't call it a comeback. We got Dallas Cowboys at the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh my God, this is a fun game.
Yeah, this is a
Didn't Minnesota win this game with like Kellen
Probably
Mond at quarterback?
America's
on
game of the
Halloween
week.
night last year.
Yeah. All right, Jeff, hit us.
Minnesota -2.
-2.
The game's in Minneapolis, right?
Minnesota.
Correct.
No. Vikings by 3 points.
I'm gonna say it pick 'em.
Cowboys by 2. I think that's about to move. Like, obviously, the game with
I don't think so. I
No.
think that people. I think they know people will bet Dallas coming off this loss.
they just blew it against Green Bay.
Yeah.
And that could be a letdown game for Minnesota.
Yes, it
What
could
a
be.
win.
Yeah.
Yes,
could.
it could be.
Like it's a
They both went to
it's a-
overtime.
off the overtime, a win like that. I could see how
Both
it
teams
does
are coming
feel like
off
to be a bit
overtime,
of a-
though. Both teams are coming off overtime.
All right.
Yes,
then
you're
we've
right.
got
Ooh.
Sunday night football.
So 2 left. I've won. No, Jeff needs to get both these
Jeff's
right
got
to
a
catch
big
me.
advantage here, I would imagine, because he's probably been staring.
He's probably
this
already
one down
bet.
the
He's probably bet
barrel
every
for
Chargers
weeks
game
now.
already this season.
It's the Chiefs at SoFi taking on his Chargers.
Chiefs -5.5.
6.
I'll say 4.
Chiefs by 7.
Oh wow.
Ah.
Tim.
Monday Night Football is not listed on DraftKings Sportsbook.
So you'll have to find. I don't know if there
Niner-
are
up
Niners,
on,
Cardinals
another
in Mexico
place.
City.
Niners Cardinals in Mexico City. Probably don't know. There probably won't be a line because of Kyler's injury.
And the Niners haven't played yet.
It'll be a big number when the Niners win.
You got one?
by
I've
20.
got a number.
All right.
Oh no, wait, no, I don't have a number. It's off the board.
It's off the board.
But
I
it was
think-
up on the screen. so
I don't
thought
think it's going to be
perhaps
big. I think
could
it'll be a
get-
short number. I
Well,
think it'll be.
doesn't matter. Pat, back to back.
I would have said 5 points.
I am the sports book. I set the lines.
Regardless of whether Kyler's in or not, it's 5.5 for
No,
you?
if Kyler's in, it's even shorter. Then it's probably like 4.5. It's a neutral site game. Like, the Niners can't be that much favored over a 4-6 Cardinals team in division.
Interesting. Paul, you're going to feel better when the Bills just rattle off like 5 straight wins. I think this is personally good for the Bills. They need to take a shit kicking here mid-season. I think that's good for them. Too much
We
arrows
had
being
a
put.
few of these.
Few-
I thought we had a few of these.
No,
shit-kicking
because everyone
situations.
everyone kept believing. We did the power rankings last night. Oh, the Bills are fine. Don't worry about them.
Boys, 8.5. 8.5 now.
What's the number gonna? What are you gonna end up? I mean, you probably already bet it, but
No, I haven't bet it.
Just wait
I was gonna bet it
for
right
Ayuk
now,
to
though.
score the first touchdown.
What are they
and
on the
then you'll
money
get
line,
like
Jeff?
plus 14.
Plus
Boom,
290.
value.
no, I think that should do it for us. Unless there's anything else you guys want to talk about, we can talk about Jeff Saturday some more.
What a thrilling conversation that would be.
No, I'm
the team
gonna.
did fine.
Well,
Jeff has things to do.
Did Paul
I
not
got
clip
10
that
minutes.
behind your ear? Do you not notice that cord is just dangling in front of you?
No,
Yeah, I didn't click. I didn't clip it.
no one noticed. The
guys are-
microphone obscured it.
Really?
It's on me. I have to come in here and assume that Tim doesn't know how to do any of
I
these
don't.
things.
I don't know anything.
It
You're
is
getting a lot of
completely
practice
on
in
me.
here.
My bad.
We're now just intentionally making the show longer, so Jeff has to sit here. I'm kidding, Jeff. You can go. Thanks
Is
for
Jeff
jumping on.
tranquilized? That's what people in the
Yeah,
chat.
yeah, people are saying
Any
that you're very tranquilized at the
tranquilization before
moment.
the game.
no. The tranquilizer, like that's when I have an expectation. Like the only way a tranquilizer could come out tonight is if we blow like a 17-point lead or something.
Fumble the ball on the goal
tranquilizer
line
doesn't-
for a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm expecting to get my ass kicked. So if they get their ass kicked, like it's gonna be what I expect. The tranquilizer is usually when they, my expectations are high and I'm let down per usual.
All right, well, you can
I
follow
want them to surprise me tonight.
That will do it on the Pat Mayo Experience. You can follow Jeff on Twitter at GFeinberg17. You can follow Cust at Tim Undercust. Just
That is not my
probably
name.
verified, even if you go try to check it out. I don't know how the rules of Twitter work at this point. Maybe they'll change by next week, and Tim can finally get himself verified at Tim Anderkus. Obviously, I'm always at the PME, sub to the channel. I'll be back with Waiver Wire tomorrow. I was going to do a World Cup preview, but I got the dates mixed up, so probably not going to do a World Cup preview anymore, but we'll see. Thank you all for watching. I'm Pat Mayo. We'll see you next time.